Hello guys and welcome back to race 2 from round 5 of the Midnight Oil Racing League's GT7 Championship. Obviously here at Circuit de Gilles Villeneuve. We've got Thomas lining up on pole once again, obviously going off with qualifying results for the second race as well. Ice Chan there in second, Wayne G starts in third, Dan Bailey in fourth, Blood Diamond in fifth, Moulson in sixth, Clutch in seventh, Vexed in eighth, Pickle in ninth and Asbo starts in 10th place. So without further ado, let's get into this second race. There are the lights. And we're off. It looked like Moulson getting a really good getaway in the background there. Not able to get past Dan Bailey though. Did he back off a little bit there? Clutch getting a very good getaway once again. Oh, and it's got very, very congested indeed. Oh, what happened here? So we're going to have to go through this frame by frame, I think, just to try and see. Let's go with Danny Bailey. So, as we're on board with Dan Bailey, you can see he comes around the outside here of Thomas. He's got Ice Chand ahead. We've got Wayne G there on the very, very far inside. And then Moulson also trying to make it 3 wide, it looks like, into turn 1. So we've got Clutch in 6th there. Vexed is a little bit further back, and we've got Jason. So Thomas looking like he's getting squeezed a tiny bit. Actually manages to slot in behind Dan Bailey, who then, I think, yeah, Dan Bailey touches the front, or touches the rear of Wayne G. Moulson can't move over because he's got Thomas on his inside. And I think that concertina then also catches Clutch out on the brakes. Clutch hits the back of Thomas, bit of netcode there, sends Thomas again into the back of Dan Bailey. Dan Bailey almost loses the rear of the car, saves it, but unfortunately Thomas and Moulson both off track. That was an unfortunate series of events, but we'll have the start once again and we'll watch it once again. In fact, we see from Thomas, we watch Thomas's perspective. So Thomas got a little bit shuffled out wide there, and then yeah, there was just a bit of a concertina. It looked like a really big shunt there from Clutch, but he did slow, and he's actually slowed down to try and give the position back to Thomas. Thomas struggling to get the car going now. Ice Chand there in first now, Wayne G in second, Dan Bailey's in third, Blood Diamond is up to fourth, we have Vex now up to 5th place. Asbo's there in 6th, and we have Pickle in 7th. Moulson now 8th, Clutch 9th, and yeah, he's just given Thomas the position there. So Thomas moves up to 9th, Clutch down to 10th. He's got to try and stick with Thomas now though, hasn't he? So where is the battle at the moment? So Dan Bailey has got Blood Diamond for company, Blood Diamond has got Vex for company. So I think this is the closest battle at the moment. Vex having a look on Blood Diamond. So Vex stopped in for the softs in the first stint this time round. What is Jason on? So Jason almost into the back of Dan Bailey there. Jason on the mediums. I don't think we're going to see any moves come towards the front as yet. I don't think the gap's quite close enough. Are we going to see a move here from Blood? No. We'll stick with these 3 cars for the minute, come into turn 1, although we've got a look behind as well to Asbo and Pickle, I think that is in the background there. It looks like Pickle looking for the move now on Asbo. Asbo managed to cover him off though. Yeah, Pickle still unable to find his way through. Try as he might on that soft tyre, Vexed not able to get a move done on either Blood or Dan Bailey. Blood with a massive moment there, huge moment. That's brought Vexed right back into the fight once again. Oh, and he does again, has a huge moment. That's allowed Vexed alongside. I think he's going to get a move done. And they're still side by side. And yeah, Vex still unable to find his way past Jason in that Ferrari. But another battle once again. And looks like Vex has moved ahead momentarily up into 4th place. And covers that inside line off. Jason looking for the better exit. Blood thinking about a move there into the final chicane, but thinking better of it that time round. Can he force Vex into an error, or will them tyres just drop off on that McLaren? Blood actually losing a little bit of time there through that sector, which has allowed Vex a bit of breathing space. Can he try and get onto the back of Dan Bailey? You can see the top 3 just ahead. Dan Bailey on the medium tyre. We have Winnie G on the softs. Ice Chand still in the lead of the race there on the mediums. Thomas up to 8th place now. We have at the back, so Asbo finds himself at the back. Clutch is there in 9th place. Clutch managed to get past Thomas chasing down Mawson for 7th. And yeah, the gap's fairly even throughout the field at the moment. The closest 2 cars were Blood and Vex, but that gap has opened. And who was that? Dan Bailey. Dan Bailey's got a second's worth of penalty. Is that going to bring him into the clutches of Vexed? He's not far off the back of Wayne G. He's surely picking up that slipstream, isn't he? Surely getting a tow along the straights from the Mazda. Is he quite close enough? It looked like he was closer through 2 and 3. Or 3 and 4. Ooh. Little droppage of the controller. We don't always have technical issues during the recordings, but there you go, there is one. And waiting in the background there, Blood Diamond onto the back of Vex once again, as Vex had a moment somewhere on that soft compound tyre. How long is he going to take them for as well? Still unable to find his way past. I'm going to see a move come into turn 1. So it looks like Vex soft tyres are starting to come to the end of their life expectancy. How many more laps is he going to be able to take them for? I think he's trying to get them up to the 10-minute stage or longer. Maybe up for the mediums in the second stint. We'll have to wait and see. I thought Blood Diamond was going to get that move done. Maybe he's waiting until the hairpin. Perhaps he can get a better run through the S's here. Yeah, he seems to have closed that gap up ever so slightly once again. Is he going to be later on the brakes into the hairpin? I don't think he's close enough this time round to be able to get a move done, and he's not. But closes up once again on the back straight. So that penalty of Danny Bailey not slowing him down too much actually. I thought he was going to bring him a little bit further back than it has. So Jason definitely carrying more speed that time through the final chicane. Is he going to have a run here into turn one? Not quite. Looking for the better exit out of two. Nicely through three. Through 4, 5 into 6. And 7. Counter with Vexed. Yeah, Blood still unable to find his way past. Is he going to wait until the pit stop? He's going to be able to go for longer on that medium compound tyre. Vex will surely be pitting in the next lap or two. Slowly approaching the 10-minute window. And with all the counting we've been doing, we forgot to count the laps in the first race, so did anyone catch it? Was it 16? Did I say it was 11? I can't remember what I said it was at the start. Wayne G now into the pits. Is Vex going to follow him? Vex has stayed out. No, Vex is into the pits. So yeah, following Wayne G in. That has released Danny Bailey up into second place. Blood Diamond moves through into third. Thomas up to fourth now. So Wayne G is going to come out onto the back of Thomas here in fifth place. He's going to be on a fresh set of medium compound rubber. What's he going to be able to do with that fresh set of tyres? Molson moves up into sixth place. Clutch. Also, it looked like Clutch was going to get a move done on Vex, but Vex comes out just ahead on a fresh set of mediums. Clutch is now on mediums. Or he's on... Is he run them? I think he's run them from the start. Oh, big slide there from Vexed. In fact, that McLaren looking very skittish on a cold set of mediums. Oh, it's Clutch behind as well. Having all sorts of moments. Pickle was pit now. He's out on a fresh set of mediums. Asbo on a fairly worn set of mediums. So Chan still out in that set of mediums he's had from the start of the race. He's surely going to take him up to about the 15-minute, 16-minute window. But look at that gap that he's got. Trying to seal the deal against Thomas. Thomas managed to take the win in the first race, but it's looking like it might be Ice Chan here in the second. Ice Chan still yet to pit, but he's got a huge gap over Danny Bailey there in second place. Dan only just coming through 2 now. Chan is well on his way through 3 and 4. There we go, 3 and 4 for Danny Bailey. I think he's actually around 8 to 10 seconds behind at this stage. It's a shame that the replays don't record the live timings, because it'd be interesting to see what that gap actually is. And obviously during the race it would show you. So Thomas still yet to pit. Closing up to the Subaru. Is he closing fast enough though? But Jason stayed out, didn't he? A couple of cars ahead of him. Went to the pit stop, but he's done well to get as close as he is currently to Thomas. Almost gets it a little bit wrong through the final chicane. Yeah, he's lost a couple of tenths or two. That has brought Wayne G back into the picture. Wayne G on a fresh set of mediums. The top four still yet to pit. What can Wayne G do here? He's got to get past Blood Diamond if he wants to stand any chance of being on the podium. And just see Thomas going through this corner here. He's a couple of seconds ahead now as Thomas, maybe even 5 or 6. It's quite hard to judge the gap from watching the replays, but Wayne G looking to start putting the pressure on to Blood Diamond. When are the top four going to decide to pit? Nearly 14.5 minutes in. As they approach the pits, it'll be around the 15-minute mark on this lap. Oh, Blood Diamond goes a little bit deep there. That almost opened the door there to Wayne G. Wayne G right on the bumper now of the Ferrari. Who's going to get a better run down the back straight? It looks like Wayne G just has the momentum at the moment. Pulls alongside. Is Jason going to keep his boot in though? Yeah, you got to be brave, haven't you? You got to be brave to keep your boot in there, Jason. Thinking better of it, just backing off. Wayne G gets a move up into 4th place. What a great bit of racing by these two guys. Clutch is now into the pits again. Or is he now into the pits? That might be his first pit stop. I might be waffling absolute nonsense. Wait, what happened to Mawson? Mawson into the pits. I think Mawson had a spin at some stage. Vexed is now up to 6th place. Some way off the back of Blood Diamond though. Blood Diamond and Wayne G still having a battle. Blood Diamond on the worn, or the more worn of the 2 sets of tyres. Wayne G pit a few laps ago. Blood Diamond still yet to pit, and I think that was Clutch's first pit stop. So where's Ice Chan? Ice Chan stays out again. Will we see anyone else decide to go for the undercut? So Danny Bailey stays out. Thomas also stays out. Wayne G's on a fresh set of tyres. There we go. See Blood Diamond. Blood Diamond dives into the pits now. He's trying to get the undercut on the top 3. So the next person to come through. So Wayne G managed to get past, didn't he? Is Vex going to come through into 5th place? I think Blood Diamond is starting to leave the pits now, is he? And he is. It's definitely going to be close. So actually comes out just behind Vex. Vex up into 5th place, but Jason on a fresh set of softs. Vexed on a few laps old set of mediums. How long is he going to be able to keep the Ferrari behind him? The gap isn't too close at the moment. Oh, and I think Clutch had to go back in and change his tyres again. I think Clutch put on a second set of mediums and had to do a lap on the mediums and then go in and change to a different compound. So yeah, Jason, aided by that softer compound rubber, has managed to start closing that gap already. I think it's only going to be a matter of corners before he manages to sew this position up. Vex just hugging the apex there, no way through on the inside for the Ferrari. So Ice Chan and Dan Bailey into the pits now. Thomas up into the lead of the race. And we're going to have to check on board with Thomas in a minute. Did he go for a pit stop earlier? I think he might have gone for the early pit stop. So no, he hasn't. No, he hasn't gone to the pits yet. So Thomas looking to extend on this lap, looking for the overcut now. Ice Chand not far behind him on a fresh set of softs. Is he going to be able to seal the deal before Thomas does enter the pits? So Chan chases Thomas down the back straight. Is this good? Yeah, Thomas indicating, saying that he's pulling into the pits. So that's going to release Chan now back into the lead of the race. Thomas led for a couple of laps. The lead is handed back over to Ice Chand. But Thomas is going to have a lap younger softs. Is 5 minutes going to be enough to be able to get him back through the pack and seal the deal in this race, or is Ice Chand going to be able to take the checkered flag here? He's looking good for it at the moment. Wayne G up into second place now. He took the softs in the first stint. Now on a fairly worn set of mediums. Dan Bailey on a couple of laps old soft, but he's now got a charging Thomas behind him. Thomas, who has just pit, and he's on a very, very fresh set of soft compound rubber. Well, Dan Bailey looked like he went a little bit deep through the hairpin. That allowed Thomas to close up once again, but that Porsche does have some serious cornering speed. What it lacks off the line definitely makes up through the corners. Oh, Dan Bailey, no! Dan Bailey picks up a second's worth of penalty again. I think that's the second penalty he's had in this race. Was there through the final chicane there? I think it might have been. I think maybe he just took a little bit too much of that inner chicane. And it was to his detriment. Still defending against Thomas. But I think I thought Thomas was going to get a move done there. He was looking for it. He definitely had a look, but not quite able to get it done. But has the better exit there. and does finally move up into third place. Danny Bailey not giving up the goose. But tries, he might. Look at that Porsche go. Just pulls away. Who is that? That's Asbo. Asbo getting blue flagged. Moves well out of the way of the race. So I think that is Wayne G. We can just see the small Pixar car ahead of Thomas. Oh, and there we go. There's Danny Bailey slowing down for that penalty. That has dropped him way off the back of Thomas now. Still some way ahead of Blood Diamond and Vexed, 4th and 5th. But Thomas, what can he do now? Can he manage to get on to the back of Wayne G, or is he going to settle for third? Takes the fastest lap, 1:37.499. Wayne G's mediums starting to look a little bit second hand now. As are Chan softs. He's definitely been pushing hard on them softs, trying to extend that gap back to second place Wayne G and third place Thomas. But this might be the final lap for some of our racers. Oh, Asbo was trying to get out of the way of Vex there. It's just spun the car. Vexed having a decent race here after shenanigans in the first. So Pickle, Asbo just staying well out of the way there. Pickle managed to get through there unscathed. He saw the yellow flag, so he knew that there was a hazard ahead. And Pickle looking good for 7th at the moment. It's a clutch out on a heavily worn set of softs now. Oh sugar! So Wayne G takes second. Thomas will take third. We've got Danny Bailey taking 4th. Blood Diamond. Blood Diamond's going to take 5th. Vex will take 6th. Pickle. So Pickle, he's going to come home to take that 7th place. Clutch. Clutch will take 8th. Moulton just lapping Asbo there at the end. After that spin, he takes 9th. That's unlucky, Moulton. Asbo takes 10th, and I think he's just going to write this round off, bless him. Really struggled with that one, did Asbo. And Chand on a victory lap now. He did enough to cross the line ahead of everyone else, so we've got to do another lap. And he's going to take the checkered flag and the win here in the second race of the evening. So GG's Chand. Great driving, mate. Well, that was it, guys. We had Ice Chand taking the win there, and that was it for the second race of round 5. We'll be back again same time, same place next week. Next week we're at the Nürburgring, so I think that'll be a bit of a spicy one. Anyway, I'll see you then. I've been your boy Vex. This has been the Midnight Oils Racing League GT7 Championship. Good night.